It walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, then it's a duck.
Now, Ben Crump has been grifting off black people's death for quite a while now. He's even amassed around, it's estimated between 10 and $70 million that he's made through his Ben Crump law firm. One of the settlements was the George Floyd case where he got the family 27 million. He also had a judgment for the children of Flint, Michigan, where he got them 641 million. So with him making all of this money off these cases, then it's no reason for him to stop. He has become a total ambulance chaser when it comes to the black community. He is the biggest grifter. He is the biggest manipulator. He has came out and said some falsehoods. He has even put out misinformation to the point where other people have spread it across the internet. And now he's going at the whole Nolan Wells case, which if it does, but I don't think in this case, he's not gonna make money for the family as much as he did for these other families, because I just don't think that the facts are going to be in their favor once everything comes out. Now, I hope that they do find out what actually happened to Nolan Wells, but I think that Ben Crump and Al Sharpton are just using this as a moment in time for publicity and also for a little bit of notoriety, and then also for them to have a little bit of extra change in their pockets. And they don't need any more money, but they like the fact that they're always called upon in these times of need when it comes to these black families, especially when it involves a person of another race, especially a white person. Let's check out these clips. We're going to talk about it, and I want y'all to see who Ben Crump really is. This first clip is Samaria Rice. This is Tamir Rice's mother, and she was represented by Ben Crump for a short amount of time before she just kind of let him go because she felt like he wasn't doing his job and she felt like he was an inadequate attorney for her. So let's check this out and let y'all see what she had to say about Ben Crump.
But I did not continue to work with Ben Crump. I think we worked together for about 8 or 9 months. I just felt that he was ambulance chasing. He knows that. I say it to his face all the time. Yeah, I told that to him. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, him and Al Sharpton and them, and I just didn't feel that he knew what he was doing. I was getting phone calls from other attorneys stating that he didn't know the law. I wasn't feeling good about it.
Now, she said she was getting statements from other attorneys that were telling her that Ben Crump doesn't know the law. And you can kind of tell that he really doesn't know the law. And I hate to say this but it's just by the way that he speaks. You would think an actual attorney would be able to pronunciate words, would be able to read statements clearly, would be able to express their thoughts in a way that everyone can understand. But at times it seems like he's kind of stumbling and mumbling over his words, and he really doesn't know how to get his points across. And he really doesn't even know the information that he's trying to put out there. He's basically just regurgitating something that somebody probably gave to him at least 5 minutes before he went out on stage or got in front of a mic. And you can tell that he's not on point anytime that he does any of these interviews. It's just rambling and just going on and on.
I wasn't getting the answers that I wanted or I needed, and I wasn't getting like paperwork when it came to motions being filed or even contact. Anytime they contact with the prosecutor, I need to know everything was going on with my son. He was not getting no real justice.
So they were PR advocates, rage baiting.
Yeah, I didn't know.
But there's no output.
There's no
It's just like,
solutions.
yeah, there's a face, there's a name, say his name, Tamir Rice, but like when it comes to actually getting justice and suing the city, you had to go get somebody else to do that?
Well, the name of the game for Ben Crump, Al Sharpton and others, it's not really to get justice, it's to kind of spin the narrative, and they basically try the case in the court of public of opinion. That way they either get someone to settle, or they kind of sway the jury, or they sway anything they do to sway the minds of those who are in charge of cases or who give outcomes. That's what they'll try to do. But they definitely try you in the court of public opinion. This is why they want you to repeat these victims' names. They want to keep regurgitating the story in a way that it seems as if this person was done wrong, even though the facts don't show that they were done wrong, but they keep putting out whatever information that they have. Even with Nolan Wells, it was things that was said that happened that didn't even happen, or the facts weren't right, and he put them out and shared them on his social media as if it was true. Now, I'll give him credit. He definitely said that these were rumors, but if you know an attorney, why would an attorney put out rumors, things that weren't verified before he exposed them to the world?
Yeah, I did. Ben Crump wasn't able to do that at the time. My wrongful docket was like 8 or 9 pages long.
With Ben Crump?
Yes. So when my third set of attorneys had got it, it ended up being 138 pages, 139 pages long.
That right there lets you know he's an inadequate attorney. A wrongful death docket, he makes it 9 pages, and then she gets more attorneys and they make a 138-page docket. It's like, did you even do your due diligence? Because there will be tons of information for you to put in these dockets to express, your points, your views, but he just didn't do that. It was either lazy, shoddy work, because that is not really his concern. Once again, his concern is to try to get you some money just so he can get a cut of the money, and he's going to run to the next case. Basically, like she said in the beginning, he's just an ambulance chaser.
So I don't know what Ben Crump was doing. I don't know if he had the skills at the time to even take my case where it needed to be. I wasn't trying to get just hurry up and settle out of court. I really wanted you to go in there and fight. And then, they just say he wasn't a great talker back then. So I just kept getting phone calls about him. All of these folks, and nobody is showing us how to get no indictments. I had to let them know my son ain't no... He's not a hustle. His death is not a hustle. So I just got a little aggravated because I kept seeing all of these activists doing things in memory of people's children, and we wasn't getting no real justice.
Well, if you don't want your kids' tragedy to be turned into a hustle, these are the people that you definitely shouldn't contact. As like I said on my show, if you're serious about what happened to your child and you want to know what happened, then there are plenty of other attorneys that you can hire, plenty of other people that you can hire. You don't have to hire Ben Crump or Al Sharpton or get the National Action Network and all of these other groups to come down and be your talking head for you. You don't need these people. I think at this point, the credibility is shot. It's definitely going down because most people are starting to see them for who they are. They're just grifters. They're just ambulance chasers. And they're just using your children for publicity, for notoriety, all of these other things, basically for their own gain. And they don't care anything about you because once the case is settled or they come to whatever conclusion that they come to, these people are going to be gone. They're not going to care. They're going to move on. They won't even say your child's name again. And the only time that they probably will use your child's name is when they go to the next case and just bring up the fact that they represented you and represented your child or point out what happened to your child and go through that whole case all over again just to bolster the new case that they're standing behind right now. So next, I want to show y'all what some of these people are talking about, even her, where she says that Ben Crump is really not a good talker. He's not a great communicator. And you can tell that he's really just not a very articulate person when it comes to speaking or getting his points across. Let's listen to this.
If it walks like a duck, if it quacks like a duck, if it sounds like a duck, then it's a duck. And this duck, these 2 ducks, instead of trying to use their proudness to help him, they discarded him.
The characteristics, like physical characteristics of a person. And so when you look at me, I'm a Black woman. If you ask me, I'm a Black woman. I am. But yes, I've been here since I was young. And just learning the history, knowing the history. My grandmother, my family actually, on my dad's side, is from here. She had a white father, and her mother was mixed. So getting these teachings, and she grew up around that time of segregation. So getting these teachings, she would always tell us like,
Jalen and Javon and their mom, you know, again, they're friends of ours. And so I called her and I was like, hey, have you seen Nolan? Can you ask the boys so they talk to him? And she was like, you know what? And the boys, of course, they were like, no. So they're pulling up their location tracker on Snapchat because they all follow each other. And they, you know, were able to help him. I'm pulling mine up on like 360. So between the two, you know, we were able to determine.
And then it goes, the gunshot wound of the head. A, the injury, proliferation of the left internal subra. Now I'm looking at this word because I know it's not subdural artery, but it's
So right there, I mean, it's like he can't read a piece of paper with a couple of sentences on it. Like you can't even sound it out in your head real quick on the fly, or come to as close as you can to the word as possible, something. And you're an attorney, a multi-million-dollar attorney who has won upwards to what, $800 million? You're worth about $10 to $70 million. Just kind of fishy to me, if you ask me. But in my opinion, I think the jig is up. For a lot of people, it's not. For those of us with common sense, we don't fall for this no more. If, you know, I hate to say this, but if something was to happen in my family, I definitely wouldn't have Ben Crump. I wouldn't have any of these people. You know, I would find someone else. It doesn't have to be these people. I think they would hurt your case. They would hurt, you know, what you're trying to do as far as getting to the bottom of what happened to your family member. I just don't trust them at all. So with that being said, y'all let me know what y'all think about this video. Let me know what you think about Ben Crump in the comment section. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And when you hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell. That way you will be notified every time I go live or I drop new content on the page. And as always, I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.